Do I really have to say it? Here are 10 reasons why I'm voting. Here are 10 reasons why I voted for Donald Trump. One reason why I voted for Donald Trump is because this is a politician like we've never seen in this type of position. He's a politician that is completely unhinged and unplugged from his party, meaning he is not someone who is tethered or controlled by the party's majority vote. There are outliers in the Republican Party who make sound decisions for the candidate who's being nominated, and they basically run the show from the behind. Understand that Republican candidates are viewed as just that, puppets. They are ran and controlled by the party, but the super beast that is Donald Trump cannot be tamed or controlled by a Republican Party, which makes him very dangerous to the Republican Party because he can not only fracture, damage, but he can basically dissolve the whole faction and change it into a whole nother beast. The second reason why I'm voting for Donald Trump is because he is a man. Let's face it, women are very important, and without them, life ceases to exist. But it goes without saying that when dealing with politics and the agendas of the world, especially in the fragile state that it is now, given that our foreign enemies and allies have all reached out and started preparing to bear arms, it would be considered a sign of disrespect in some of these places to go there trying to make peace using a female diplomat. That's not to say that she's not capable of doing it, but I do feel that most countries would be a lot more respectful if America came to the table being represented by a male. The third reason why I'm voting for Donald Trump because of his understanding of the economical status of our country. That's not saying he's a great businessman. As you check with a lot of the stats, he doesn't do very well in business, but he's managed to go his whole entire career without ever paying taxes. How do you not pay taxes? It's because he understands how to manipulate our system, and therefore if you understand how to manipulate something, you therefore know how to correct it or make it better off for other people within the system. The fourth reason I voted for Donald Trump is because he's stubborn as hell. There are a lot of things that our past and current president have failed to acknowledge. Given this situation, if Donald Trump is presented with a situation that is pressing to the American people enough that people would antagonize and harass him to get information out of him for it, he would actually go about trying to complete that task. For example, if you told Donald Trump there was no way in hell that you could get our national debt down 12%, there's a good chance he could get it down by 20%. In exchange, we probably would be outsourcing and resourcing everything we have and basically decimate our whole entire economic stature just to get our debt down. The fifth reason why I voted for Donald Trump is because he's not a politician. This is a big name actor, a Hollywood star. He has his name on the Hollywood walk. He's a showtimer, he's a show off, and he knows how to produce and entertain. How is that congruent to being the president? It's not, but it's different. I haven't seen much of a change in the last 400 years that would make me say a politician's ability to talk politics makes him qualified. There is nothing that makes you qualified to be the president except that someone voted you in. Sixth reason is when Donald Trump isn't flipping and flopping between his own policies, he's pretty steadfast in his conservative views on how the country should be ran. The revenue that is being used to maintain Obamacare won't be here in 2020, so it's important for us to find another means to supporting that by taking money out of the big business insurance companies and providing it into the hospitals so that hospitals get to dictate the prices and premiums that you should be paying versus an insurance company dictating what you should do. The amount of power that insurance companies hold is through the roof. The chances of a monopoly happening with insurance companies is far greater than there being 7 hospitals to an area and a monopoly of a situation that happens there. If you don't like the service, the price, or the doctor that you're being presented at one hospital, imagine going to another one and getting a whole nother write-up that will be more in your life versus an insurance company who has no medical expertise telling you where your money must be spent. The seventh reason I voted for Donald Trump is because he doesn't need big business to do what he's doing. He is someone who has basically ran his whole entire election from the bottom up. This is an individual who works for himself. He doesn't work for or endorse anything he doesn't believe that is functional or useful to him. And let's be honest, he's ran one of the most intelligent campaigns as far as financial status goes. By using his own property, his own company name to host his events, he in turn is making revenue and money off of this election for his business. And the way he's managed to escape paying for taxes is even more of a one-up for him because he has now managed to make all this money tax-free. You gotta believe that this guy guy is a criminal, but that doesn't make him bad. It only makes him resourceful.
You're
The
fired.
eighth reason why I'm voting for Donald Trump is because he openly understands that there is an issue with the way our immigration laws and our immigration parties are being handled right here in America. He antagonizes the justice system for not being equal, fair, and based in the way that things are ran or done. This is not to say that comments like this.
If you are saying he can't do his job because of his race, is that not the definition of racism?
No, I don't think so at all.
No?
No, he's proud of his heritage. I respect him for
But
that.
you're saying he can't do his job because of it.
Look, he's proud of his heritage, okay? I'm building a wall.
Make him eligible to be a great president, but it does bring up the question, what makes you eligible to be a good judge and what makes you qualified to pass judgment on other people? Our justice system is constantly being berated by mishaps and mistakes about how situations in our country are deteriorating. Even the UN spoke on this earlier. Donald Trump created that conversation when he said ban all Muslims. He posed a very important question. What Muslims should we be banning? If we're going to ban all of them, what makes all of them bad? Which then opened up questions about how we can better resolve or make our interrogation or entering process a little bit easier or steadfast for the good individuals who are from different countries trying to come to America and help it become great. The
You're
ninth
fired.
reason I'm voting for Donald Trump, he said that he will go out and bring our jobs back to America. That is a promise he can actually keep because he is not tied to them. No one scratched his back, so he doesn't have to scratch theirs. He could enforce laws that would mandate that these companies come back and bring those jobs to America. Imagine a Nike company coming back to America instead of paying pennies on the dollar for children or adults to work in their sweatshops overseas. Imagine those jobs being returned to low-end areas like Detroit, guaranteeing that those jobs would be paid out to American citizens and returned back to American citizens. They could also account for the taxes that they've been missing out on because they don't have to worry about working their industry within the stateside rules and regulations. He would have the ability to bring back billions, if not trillions of dollars into our American system and start allowing the economy to recover, that which would then give us less reason to venture out into the world trying to resource or allocate things that would make our country more stable in a trading market. The 10th reason I voted for Donald Trump might seem the strangest, but it is the most practical and makes the most sense. Let's be honest, he's a racist. He is an open, bigot, annoying, fascist racist, like none we've ever seen in public. He's made comments about banning all Muslims, how Mexicans send their rapists and their drug dealers here. He has called black communities central hubs for thugs and gangsters to thrive in their drug selling schemes. He is the realest politician we have ever had in a long time, and we got a black president right now. The fact is, Donald Trump has no filter, which makes whatever he says true and to the core. It also brings out a certain levity of appreciation because he doesn't have to pretend. But the fact is, it has created room for conversation, and with more like minds on his side, more of a politically correct statement, along with more of a community-based effort. I'm not saying Trump being a racist or a bigot or anything like that is a bad thing, but it is a thing. It's good to know when I'm going to be stabbed that the person who did it in front of me instead of in my back. And that's what a lot of minorities have been getting in the last few years. Knives in the back from people who made a lot of promises to us about change and development that never came to us. Donald Trump wasn't playing when he said, what do we have to lose as a minority population? That we've been oppressed since we've had freedom, and we've been going to jail by the hundreds of thousands since they told us we were equal. Now here we are in the 2016-17 election, preparing to make a life-changing decision, and we have someone who has zero political affiliation, no real political agenda, and no real political skill set that would make him qualified any less or more than you running for president. I voted for Donald Trump because he's the best candidate if you're looking for a real change. No one said change would be good, but it's a lot better than the situation that we're in now. And if you're too afraid to experience that, then maybe you should be asking yourself, why are you okay with being stuck in the same place? When did being treated like a second-class citizen become so comfortable for you? We are no longer our grandfather's children. The things they experienced and went through was a mercy plea in order to get us in this current position. But let's look at the big picture. If Donald Trump does win, we could see a revolt and revolution like the world has never seen seen before. Imagine a bunch of people who have been oppressed and suppressed since the beginning of their existence here in this country, all coming up together to fight. What if the jolt we need to step up and become a better version of ourselves is resting on the shoulders of a deranged lunatic running for president? You looking for some change? That's all the change you need.